Strong.
Hey.
How are you?
I'm good.
Good.
How are you?
Good. I'm glad to have you. We've been trying to do this for a while,
A
so
while.
I'm glad it's worked out.
Yeah.
So.
I remember whenever this was just a memory,
Yeah.
and
Yep.
it's actually in fruition. Now
Now
it's
we're
pretty
here.
cool.
We're doing it. Yeah.
Heck yeah.
So Savannah, you've worked with us at Called Coffee for 3 years now.
Yeah. Yeah.
The first year full time, and then left us to go pursue some career
Yeah.
at college, and then come back when you're in town and work with us some. So
Yeah.
that's been really cool. I know a lot about you. There's probably a lot I don't know about you.
Yeah.
So I want to kind of start where you grew up, how you grew up, things like that. So
Yeah.
tell me about yourself.
Well, okay. I was born and raised in Sylacauga, Alabama. A lot of my family is all from Coosa County. I kind of grew up in this really small town that only had one traffic light. It's known as Goodwater. Pretty terrible water, if you ask me. However, then me and my family, we moved from Sylacauga to Lincoln in 2013. And so back in
city.
yeah, right. Super, super big. And so I only knew Lincoln from just the movie Talladega Nights. And so that was really all I knew about Lincoln. And then from there, got to Tuscaloosa in 2022. Or no, 23 actually. I applied to UA in 22 because I knew that's the school I wanted to go to. And then at UA ever since. So it's pretty awesome. Yeah.
So you started working with us and you were a senior in
I
high school?
was, yeah.
Okay, and you went to Lincoln. And some of your teachers come in the coffee shop and
All the time.
talk about you all the time. Yeah, it's really
That's so
cool.
sweet.
How did you hear about the coffee shop? I don't remember.
Oh my gosh, I think I remember seeing, okay, so funny. Way back when I was actually watching a movie. I think at this point in time it was the new Conjuring movie. And I remember going into Quintard Mall and ran into Secret, actually.
Yeah.
She was working behind the counter that day and she was like, girl, you've got to try this caramel iced latte. And so that was the first thing I got. It stuck with me. And then I remember looking it up on Facebook and I was like, you know what? I think this would be a really great place to transition. I ended up working at Betty's in Lincoln for a really long time. I think that launched my coffee barista journey career, if you will. And ended up finding you guys. And so I knew that was going to be a great place for me.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember you coming in. It was shortly after we opened, right? Right
Very,
when we opened.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, it was fun having you work there all the time.
Yeah.
If you ever want to come back all the time, you're more than welcome to.
Oh, of course.
But you had I don't know if you say successful or what, but high school career.
Yes.
When you applied, I remember we looked you up and you had already been on TV and newspaper articles and all kind of stuff. Just a tip, if you ever apply at Call Coffee, we search the web and find out who you are first. So,
ding, ding, ding. Yes.
But yeah, you had already done a lot of things. You were obviously a motivated high school student. What do you think started that motivation?
I will say I think it was really hard for me to kind of find my own place and journey, I think, throughout high school because I never really saw that modeled for me. I think my parents, my dad and my mom really specifically, growing up in a really small town, there wasn't really many people who were going to DC or going to really big cities and coming out of it with something positive. And so a lot of them ended up in jail cells or even worse. And so the fact that they made it out and really wanted to encourage us in that way and kind of allowing us to do our own thing really inspired me. And so whatever that looked like, I wanted to participate. And so I remember the day I actually joined and signed up for the NAACP. I just did it on a whim. Like, it wasn't anything that I expected to do. I mean, I saw the big Selma marches and how well my church was involved. And so that really did allow me to kind of see firsthand what advocacy looked like. And so from there, my former pastor of the church I went to, he is the president for the unions in DC. And so he invited me to a speaking engagement, and I did it and just went on stage, talked to thousands of union workers across the nation. And I think that by far set up everything else after that. And so in between the AP exams and all the different things, I think that first time that I went to DC really did change my trajectory on everything else I did after that. Yeah.
How old were you then?
Oh my gosh. That was my junior year of high school. So I had to be, 17? Somewhere around there. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
It's really cool. So, did you decide then you kind of wanted to go down the law path, or was that something that came later?
I remember, I think by far, and actually a really great customer at Called Coffee, Elizabeth Russell, she will be by far, I think, the number one lady that I could ever shout out when it comes to advocacy. Reading banned books in AP Lit, I think, was my forte. I mean, learning about Sherry Chisholm and all the different advocacy experts around that time of the civil rights era and movement, I think really inspired me. And I'm not saying that I'm going to go out and be a civil rights movement like artist or anything, but I think contributing to that was important to me. And so seeing leaders like that definitely made it possible for me to at least imagine that. And so if that was working for a nonprofit or becoming a lawyer, I think I just wanted to be involved. And so I think that really did set up for me, I think, the next couple of paths, yeah, for sure.
And all of those avenues, it helps to have a law
it does.
understanding, at least, if not a background. It's really cool.
Yeah.
So then you came to work with us, and I remember you were still a little undecided for sure which direction to go.
Yeah.
You were headed to Alabama, which was really cool.
A journey, yes.
Yeah, I remember how excited, anxious, and nervous you were all at the same time.
All at the same time. Yeah. I mean, freshman year, I think if I could rewind and do it differently, I don't think I would do anything differently. I mean, it was definitely a year of curiosity and excitement. And so I think I went into UA majoring in secondary education. I had no idea what I wanted to do with that. Like, never could I imagine myself being a teacher. Shout out to all the teachers, but I don't think that's something I could do. And then I ended up changing my major like 4 different times. And so anytime I run into a new freshman, I'm like, look, it's okay to do that. Like, you're allowed to do that. And so I ended up doing criminal justice and then finally landing on philosophy. And so when I tell people that I'm a philosophy major, they're like, what are you studying? But I'm like, no, I promise it's not like that. And so I think concentrating on jurisprudence and pre-law allows me to kind of shape and learn how policy evolves over time and the basis of that. And so I think that was a really cool niche for me and something that I surprised myself with learning. So that's where I'm at right now.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So just see your college experience. I didn't go to college.
Yeah.
So it's watching you and that go from high school to college was really cool. What was one of the things that you didn't expect that you learned really quick when you got down there?
I remember my high school classes were really set up strategically. I think being an AP student, I had the same classes with the same 30 to 25 students. And it was, I mean, I was probably like one of maybe 5 Black students in my class. But I think going into my first English 101 lecture where there was a room of maybe 99 students, I saw familiar faces. And then my next class could have been, who knows, an intro to criminology and criminal justice, and there could have been maybe 20 people in there. And so being sometimes the only little Black girl in a classroom was really shocking to me, and I was really nervous that no one around me understood me for what I was, or if I was just afraid to raise my hand in class. And so I think oftentimes when I didn't even try to be, I was the center of attention, and I knew that eyes were on me, and there was always this unplaced expectation on myself that I didn't really recognize, I think, until I became a freshman in college. And so there were a lot of wake up moments and calls where it was like, hey girl, you should probably spend a little less money, or maybe you should be outspoken about this topic. But I definitely think overall, if I could put like one lesson into like a bubble for me, is that I can't be the spokesperson for every Black student or every Black person. And that was really hard, I think, for a lot of my white counterparts to see, but especially at a PWI. I think an expectation for me was that I was going to go to an HBCU or all the different avenues of that. But I think UA definitely landed it for me. And in a place where I didn't look like everyone else, it was definitely a place where I was seen for just who I was in my mind. And that was, I think, valuable to me in and of its own.
Awesome. Yeah. Enjoying it?
I am loving Alabama.
Yeah.
Roll Tide. Yeah.
And you've accomplished a lot there too.
Oh my gosh.
Like more than high school, I guess you.
Yes.
Sorority.
Yes. Oh my gosh. It's a lot. Involvement definitely runs through and through at Bama. It's definitely taught me a lot and is still teaching me a lot. ups, downs, curves, and working with different people. I think the experience is all worthwhile. And so there's actually a friend of mine who's like stacked at the end of graduation with all these cords on his neck. And I'm like, how did you do it? And he survived off of just energy drinks. And I'm like, hey, I want to be like you one day. But I definitely think there's a healthy balance to all of it too.
For sure.
Yeah.
I remember you, the sorority stuff, you couldn't talk about it for a while.
Oh, yeah. Discretion
Nope,
is key.
Can't talk about it. But now you're able to, and you're
Yes.
second year now, right?
Second year. Well, no, I'm actually like a year and a month in.
Okay.
I crossed on April 13th, 2025.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's cool. Mm-hmm. You won an award recently too?
Yes.
What was that?
For AKA?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was actually the Tracy Morant. Oh my gosh, I'm missing the name, but it was a Tracy Morant, which is our Southeastern Regional Director. She's actually getting ready to step out of her position and run for something bigger within our region. And so it was just all of us. It was a servant leader award dedicated to just service in the community, but then also how you're leading on campus too. Yeah.
And you're good at that, for sure.
Thanks. I try.
Doing some SGA stuff too?
SGA too, yes. I think this past year, was a lot for me. I mean, I'm stepping out of a role from being BSU president, Black Student Union. That was a lot to handle, especially with the times that we're in with SB 129. And then I was also vice president for NAACP, secretary for that, and then being an ambassador for my college with arts and sciences. So yeah, there's a lot there. Yeah. But with SGA this year, I'm stepping into being a director of engagement. So really looking at the ways that we're engaging on our campus with administrators and faculty, but also to what are we doing for that student to student pipeline. And so, yeah, it's been really cool.
Yeah,
really awesome.
Sounds like a lot. What does your calendar look like during the school year? Oh my gosh.
Yeah. I think Apple Calendar has been my best friend.
Yeah.
It's nothing like an Apple Calendar. And so luckily I'm able to have a sub-cabinet within SGA. And so one of my girls is really like, hey, girl, you heading there in 15 minutes? I'm like, yep, I'm on the way. So that's having another person hold me accountable is awesome.
For sure.
Yeah.
So you're just finished your junior year, right?
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy. It's going by so fast.
Isn't it wild?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just got to do an internship, right?
I sure did.
What was that like?
On Capitol Hill.
Yeah.
Yes, I was with Senator Britt's office in Washington, D.C. It really blew my mind. I think I went into the expectation that things were going to be really strategic and straightforward, and that was not what it was like whatsoever. I definitely think everyone in the office had such a really big burst for energy and joy for just learning, and that really did defeat all the odds for me. I think anytime someone envisions Capitol Hill, it's like very straight to the point, and you can't really go outside of that. But I definitely think, at least with Senator Britt's office and everywhere in the Russell Senate building, everyone was so welcoming and really patient. And I definitely think those are qualities that we should possess more as a generation and just as people in general. Like, the corporate life doesn't have to be all like strict in that kind of sense, but it was definitely really eye-opening to kind of what the future would look like if I decided to reside in DC. Yeah. That's the goal. Yeah. That's the goal.
The media portrays it as like, I would imagine that's a big war zone where people are just hating each other all the time. It's not like that.
No. Oh my gosh. I actually got a chance to sit in a room with Senator Britt, and I did not know that pages existed. Do you know what a page is? No, so it's actually this program where high school students are actually able to apply to this program, and they're able to bring papers back and forth to the Senate and House floors, and they have no phones. It's a really strict program. All they're doing is just studying, and it's like a whole semester thing. Wow. And one of Senator Britt's, or her daughter, is actually in that program, and Senator Britt, along with Charles Booker, actually led a session, and it really kind of opened the door for me that Republicans and Democrats can be in the same room and actually really love what each other's work does. And like you said, the media, it really does portray it to be really evil. But I think there's a world where we can coexist and actually do good things for people.
Probably at least 70% of policies go both ways. And then you have the things that everybody makes a separation issue.
Yes.
That's really cool to hear. How long were you up there?
I was there for the entire month of May. Okay. So I think that last day of finals, I booked it to the ATL airport, and then I was there all the way from around the 4th until just this Monday.
Literally Monday. Last day of finals, and then you flew out. Yes. That's crazy. That's cool.
Yeah.
Congratulations. That's
Thank
awesome.
you. It
Cool
was really cool.
opportunity.
Yeah.
What'd you do for fun up there? You probably got
Oh
to
my
see
gosh.
everything.
Yes, I got to see everything. Went to a few museums. Luckily, the Bama to DC pipeline is really, really strong.
Really?
So I got a chance to visit with some alumni and also see some law schools up there too. So kind of like kill two birds with one stone.
Yeah.
And I think also something too is that we had access to the tunnels like underground.
Really?
So we got to see a lot of that too.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh yeah, it was really cool. Library of Congress and all of those buildings around the Capitol are all connected to each other.
Yeah.
So that was really cool. Got to lead a few Capitol tours in here and there. So
Awesome.
it was awesome.
Did you go to the White House?
Yeah, we did. We
That's
got a
cool.
chance to go to the White House and the Pentagon and see some really cool staples with that. I think the only one that we didn't get to hit was the Supreme Court. Yeah, that was the only one.
Did you feel comfortable at the White House? Mike could live there sometime? Maybe.
Maybe so. Who knows? Who knows?
I have high hopes for Savannah, by the way.
It kind of felt like home,
Yeah.
being outside of there.
All right.
Yeah.
We'll get you in there. I'll
Who
try.
knows?
So you're back here now. You're getting ready to go back to Tuscaloosa for a
Yeah,
little bit?
very soon. The law school hosts a summer scholars program there every summer. And so this will be a good chance for me to kind of take a few 1L classes, get used to what the day-to-day is like for a law student, and see if that's something I really want to pursue. I definitely think I'm still in the mindset of really doing law school or MPA. I just know that I do want to go outside of the bachelor's route. And so we'll see what that holds, but I'm really excited about it. And then in July, it'll be last minute Bama bound sessions and getting ready for the fall. So it'll be pretty awesome.
How are you handling all the stress? Well, I know everything you're doing has got to be, and you're keeping your grades up, right?
Yes.
You better be, because I'm
Oh,
keeping
yeah.
checks on you. Your
Oh,
mama,
for sure.
Your mama lets me know.
She would get me if I did it. Yeah, I definitely think stress is one of those things where it really does vary day to day. Like some days my stress could be really high. It's a high stake thing. But then I think on those days, it's like I start to affect other people around me. And I think learning and seeing that first glance and having that accountability partner has really helped throughout the journey. But then also just having prayer warriors surround you too has been so helpful. I remember being on this panel with SPLC last summer, and it was actually with Congressman Shamari Figures, and he pointed out a quote that was really important to him that stuck with him from a previous conference that he attended, and it says something to the regard of, if serving is beneath you, then leading is not for you. And that stuck with me because I think service in and of itself should be our first priority, serving others, but then also serving the Lord too has been my priority. And it's easy to get and lose track of that. Like, it's easy to focus on the negative and to focus on what everyone else is saying around you. And that has been a lesson that I think I'm still learning. And so stress is definitely high, and it's something that can be manageable. And I think for a long time I told myself that it wasn't manageable. Definitely. And like I said, I think it all goes back to kind of how we grow up and how we're raised, like seeing the Black ladies around me handle stress, what was going on in their home versus when they were in the church house. Like, you could never tell. And I think I really do strive to live a life that's authentic. Like, it's okay to struggle, and it's okay to let people know around you, hey girl, I'm not having the best day today. I just need a few minutes to kind of be alone for a second. Or I have a few of my line sisters come to me and she's like, hey girl, I would really love to go to that party, but I'm just not feeling it. Like, let's do something else instead. And I think that has created more intimate moments for me, for sure. So then that way stress doesn't even, like, it doesn't cross my hand anymore.
That's a really quick way to get rid of it, is being with other people. Yeah, relationship, for sure. Any moments as stressful as running the drive-thru on a Friday morning at Called Coffee?
Oh my gosh. I remember the espresso guy, like 8 shots of espresso early at 8 a.m.
Still comes through.
Heck yeah.
He's still rock and roll. That's funny though. I've learned a lot about stress because of you guys being honest with me. Like, hey, chill out a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, I'm better now than.
Look at you.
Of course, opening a coffee shop with a drive-thru was completely new to all of us.
Yes.
And it is stressful at times, and it feels like it's the most important thing in the world when you're in it at that moment.
Yes.
So
yes.
But yeah, you guys would keep me in check for sure too.
Heck yeah.
That's fun. We learn together. So you're gonna be down there for a month, come back here for a little bit.
Heck yeah.
Then go back to your senior year.
Yeah. heading into this senior year, it's a little scary. Like, just being so honest, it's scary. Just because I think I remember the very first time that I came into Bama Bound, didn't know a single freshman. All of us were just kind of around like a school of fish, kind of wandering the campus all together. I remember how new everything felt. But I think coming into senior year, I think a lot of myself and peers around me have grown complacent with just how things are. And I don't think I have the capacity to be complacent anymore with how far everyone wants to grow, and especially the people around me. And so I definitely think whatever comes senior year, I'm ready for it. I'm prepared, and hopefully just relying on the Lord in that area, I'm really excited for. Yeah,
you're going to rock it. Anything new for the senior year? Any new
oh my gosh,
clubs or projects or anything?
Other than SGA, Arts and Sciences, ambassadors, nothing really new. I definitely think when it comes to law school, that's my priority for sure. So studying and prepping for the LSAT, definitely send prayers. We're going to need that for sure. But yeah, that's been going pretty well, which if all else fails, military, here I come. Who knows?
Yeah, that's an option too.
Yeah.
Know a lot of lawyers.
Yeah.
I don't think you'll have a problem with the test.
Yeah.
You can do it.
I don't know what I would look like in a military uniform.
You can do it.
Oh, Lord. Yeah.
They put you in charge for sure. You'd be in the Pentagon if you go to the military.
That'd be awesome.
So you're thinking right now, I know you haven't fully decided, but what do you think your options are as far as like career? Do you have any nailed down yet?
So something I really enjoyed, I think, this past year with SGA was that I got an opportunity to serve as a campaign team member with our current SGA president, Samantha Simmons. And she's probably one of the most selfless people that I know. And she probably doesn't even know it, but a lot of the things that I've learned just about energy and how you're carrying that into spaces, I've learned a lot from her. And so we've been in some of the most similar situations in different spaces together and just have passed each other, but then ran into each other right around this time. And so something that I really learned on the campaign team and time together was that everything you do is really intentional. And so heading into senior year, we really got the opportunity to not only connect with students, but to just ensure that that's like a remained pipeline. So I'm really excited about that and seeing where that leads to. Remind me of your question one more time before I don't forget.
I don't remember, but I have another one for you.
Yeah.
So even though that election's already over, you stay working with her throughout the year?
Oh, yes, cool. For sure. Okay, I remember your question now. What's like, what job like do I want to have? A lot. Yeah. Okay. I've actually learned a lot with her scheduling and seeing how calendars line up and sync, and then also how other organizations kind of work around each other. So I think government operations I really, really like. SGA is kind of like a small entity of what happens in DC. Yeah. So I was really lucky to see how that works in Washington. And so we actually got a chance to meet up with Senator Britt's chief of staff and her schedule girl and her body girl that kind of goes with her everywhere. And so I really like that perspective. And so I could definitely see maybe one day chief of staff or somewhere along that line. I have had a really fun time chatting with them about kind of what they're doing in DC that affects Alabamians. And so I think that'll be pretty cool. Yeah, to explore that realm.
Awesome. But you got to do law school first. Yeah. Are you going to do that?
Heck
or
yeah.
You think you're going to do it right now?
Well, it's so funny because we actually had a staff member there who was like talking us out of law school the whole time. Yeah. He was like, don't do it. And I'm like, okay, but you have the degree on your wall, so tell me more. Yeah. And so it's definitely an investment, but I really want to make sure that I have the knowledge, I think, going into all of it, especially if people's lives are being at stake. And so I think that would be pretty selfish of me if I didn't. And so I think I'm pretty excited to see where that lands, for sure.
Awesome.
Yeah.
How, so it's summertime right now. A lot of kids are in transition or just graduating high school or juniors going into senior year trying to figure out. What would you say to somebody that's trying to figure out their next step, but they're not sure? Because there's so many options. And when you're 17, 18, you don't really know yet because you haven't experienced a lot that there's to experience. So what would you say to somebody who's unsure or trying to figure out, navigate that?
Oh my gosh. It's so funny because I think going back to Lincoln when I was in high school, senior year, a part of me didn't know that this would be where I would lead. I think, like, if you told me this when I was 16 years old, I do not believe you. Like, you are nowhere close. But we're here. And if I had to go back and tell a 17-year-old kid who's just trying to live out the dream, maybe working a McDonald's job, drive-through job, who knows, I would tell them to keep going. Sometimes we don't ever know where we're going to end up, but I think it's worth putting in faith into yourself, into the people around you, but then also firstly in the Lord. And so I think a scripture that really got me through high school was 1 Corinthians 13:4-7, that love is patient, love is kind. And I think that stuck with me mainly because I think the moment that in the ounce that we show love, it really does open the doors to you may never know what. In showing grace and kindness to the quietest person at the table has really shown me a lot. And so I think being 17, that's the perfect start for it.
Yeah.
That would be what I would tell them for sure. I have so much joy when I think about high school seniors because that was such an important year for me. Yeah. And I really wish that somebody could tell me that. Yeah, for
awesome.
sure.
Yeah, that's good advice. I'm really interested in the DC thing because it's so there's so many layers to it that we can't see. So like operationally, what are some things that you saw up there that you didn't expect? Because I like operation stuff too.
Heck yeah.
I'm just curious, some things that you learned from there that you did not expect to see.
Well, definitely the page thing. That was number one.
Yeah, that's cool.
I definitely really got a chance to see that there are high school students who want to be involved. I definitely think there's a lot of, especially particularly the elderly generation, who think that kids don't want to work or that they're not invested as they used to be, but they're there. They really are. And I definitely think probably now more than ever they are and invested because they're starting to see how it's affecting their homes and how policy, there's people that play into policy. And so, I mean, even just from the moment that I walked into Russell every day, like even just the security checks, everyone, have a great day. I hope you have a good one. Seeing them around the Capitol, really, really cool.
That is cool.
And then also, I think the meetings that Senator Britt had, like she cares really deeply about almost everything that affects the state and then also Alabamians as a whole that I think a lot of people wouldn't really see if you weren't in that space. I mean, Life 360 was there meeting up and talking about highway control, like with I-65 and the pileup going to the beach.
Wow.
Like, it's small things like that where people are like, oh, like, I don't really feel seen in that category. Well, come, like, actually submit a share your opinions thing. Yeah. I got a chance to answer phones, too, for a week. You know, got cussed out a few times. Yeah, that was pretty cool, you know. And really got a chance to see, you know, what actually affects people, but then also see what the senator really does care about, too. And so also seeing operations to Secret Service is really cool.
I bet. We
got a chance to talk with Usha Vance in the courtyard.
Wow.
Yeah, eating lunch. I was scarfing down a sandwich, and she just pops up and she's like, hey, y'all. And I'm like, hey, like, how are you? And so she was wandering around, and Secret Service was just kind of mitigating around, but they blended in so well.
Yeah.
But I also think that plays into just the ordinary life in DC, that these are people too, you know, and that no one necessarily is on a pedestal or higher than the other. Like, everyone is human. And so that really did defeat my expectations for sure, just because I feel like I have naturally so much respect for whoever, I mean, especially the senator for all things, but I think being able to just see people where they are and who they are was really important to not only me, but in other people. So again, it just made it seem possible that you could actually land a place there and be happy and comfortable with that.
Yeah. That is really cool.
Yeah.
That they are people. As much as we don't like something they do, we count them off as not people or people we hate. Even we hear that a lot. Or if we love them, we put them on a huge pedestal. They're the ones that's going to change the world, and they're all people working together. For sure.
That's
really cool.
Everybody plays a role. I mean, even if it's small, and I definitely think that was something that I saw for sure. Yeah. For sure.
So you think you might wind up there one day?
Very well. If I find some good walking shoes, number one.
Walk a lot?
Oh my gosh. We walked every day. Which, shout out to my auntie. She, my auntie cousin, it was my dad's, they kind of grew up together like sisters and brothers. And so she actually resides in DC. She went to Howard Law. And it was probably like a mile walk to and from every day. So I kind of got fit while I was there a little bit.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah.
Give a couple shout outs of people that have really influenced you. I know you can't name all of them, but I know I've seen a lot of. You're famous around here.
Oh my gosh!
And everybody who, if you mention your name, everybody knows you're going to do something really cool.
Oh, that's sweet.
So it's fun to hear that. I'm proud that you worked for us. So
Yeah.
there's a lot of people that influence you, though. I know. Just name a couple of them.
Oh my gosh! If I had to start at Called Coffee, number one, probably River.
Yeah.
He's pretty awesome.
Yeah,
he's really dope.
Yeah.
River he's really selfless with everything that he does. Yeah. And he also has such a great humor about him. Like, he keeps a smile on your face. Like, just thinking about him, I'm like already laughing. Yeah. And he's just so driven. And he's probably done a really great effect on me, probably than what he'll ever know.
Yeah. Awesome.
Number two, definitely Miss Diane.
Yeah.
She is awesome, always so supportive. She definitely kind of took like a discipleship role for me, probably than what she won't even know, but like she always did a mentoring behind the counter. Yeah. And the moment that I stepped around, it was like always in for a treat.
She's still praying for you. I know she is. Yes. We haven't talked about it, but she's always praying for you.
Yes. Oh my gosh, she is wonderful. Yeah. If I had to step outside of Called Coffee, and I've already probably said her name, but definitely Miss Russell, and Mr. Ed. Mr. Harvey Edwards, he was my pre-AP government teacher and my AP Gov teacher, and he definitely sparked my love for just the U.S. and all things government related. And he truly has inspired me to like be American always. That kind of sounds like very American of me, but anyway, he really did and does love our country and also standing for the things that are right too. And so even like just the Pledge of Allegiance in the morning, like he really did make it his mark. Well, at least at Lincoln, that things were going to be right and done right in the right fashion, but also too, you have an opinion and it's valid. And I really learned a lot from him, for sure. He's retired now in Piedmont, and he gives us these little business cards when we graduate. And on the back of it, it says books to read before visiting me in the retirement home.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, he's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's really cool. I need to meet him.
Heck yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Back to your time in D.C., just because it's so intriguing.
Yeah.
Did it increase your sense of pride, I guess, in what America is and what it has to offer? Is there a sense of that up there that you just feel excited about it again? Because I hate to keep saying it, but the media makes it feel really like...
For sure. It's heavy.
Yeah. But America's a great place.
Yeah.
I'm just curious, did that translate to you? Did you feel that energy up there? Or what?
Definitely so. I think at first I was like, I got this, whatever. But I purposefully sit on a window seat with the plane because there's just something really moving and touching, not just about travel, but landscape. And so I think the moment that I saw the Lincoln Monument and the big statues, I'm like, this is going to be good. Like, I felt a good sense of peace about it, probably like overwhelmingly. And so the moment I got off the plane, I didn't feel humidity. It was pretty awesome.
Oh, yeah, that's good.
But I remember chatting with one of the staff assistants for Senator Britt, and he was like, if you ever look at the Capitol and you don't have an appreciation for America, it's time to go. Yeah. And every time I just, like, taking a stroll at night, looking at the Capitol, I do have a really profound sense for the struggle of many people throughout our time in history that I definitely think oftentimes is trying to actively be erased. It's important to remember that and to also teach that in the home.
For sure.
And so there's an appreciation for it, and it will always be in my heart. And so I definitely see a lot of senators, congresspeople really play that out, and it would be great if everyone could be attached to that and be committed to that with whatever that we do. Yeah.
It also keeps us from repeating history in a negative way.
Yes.
And improving on it in a positive way. It's really cool. What does your mom think about all this?
Oh my gosh.
I love your mom.
Mom and dad are so happy. Yeah. She's ecstatic.
Yeah.
I mean, it was every day calling, like right when I stepped out of the building. How was today? What did you learn? And sometimes, I didn't really learn, or I learned a lot, I will say that. But there were definitely some days where it was very slow, like there was nothing really to do, which we came into the first week that we interned, and the Senate was out of session. So it was getting used to everything, getting name tags, getting familiar faces. And then that second week, the Senate was actually in session. So it was busy. It was running into random senators on the train downstairs, like, what are you doing? You're out of place, whatever. But she was really excited for me just to have, one, the opportunity, but then also, two, to just meet and be around like-minded people. Yeah. I definitely think being at UA and being in the same little scenes, it really does teach you a lot about yourself, but then also like what's outside of that. And so I think a bit of curiosity was in there for me too, for sure. And Mom is so excited about that.
That's cool.
Yeah.
You're, you have a lot of self-discipline, whether you realize that or not. Where did that come from growing up?
Oh, that's a good question.
Because you have more than what's natural, I think. You have a lot of self-discipline.
Yeah. You know, I definitely think I saw a lot of it from my grandmother. She has been kind of through almost a roller coaster of life, it seems like, between abusive relationships, but then finding her high school sweetheart again, the love of her life, and going from different homes, and then still keeping her daughters and her girls at the top of the list too. And then seeing how she balances her faith, her work, volunteering, and still leaving a good impact on people really resonated with me. And I'm like, girl, how do you do that? Yeah. And I became curious. I asked the hard questions. I wanted to know everything, even if I was too young to understand it. And I think by just watching and being observant, I learned that. But then, like I said, also too, like asking those hard questions. But then I also knew like I had a responsibility to do that for myself as well. And that planting a seed is really important. And so even if it were something small, as in maybe like not getting that sweet treat that day, but maybe rewarding myself later on in the week, I think it was a mindset shift. Yeah. And it really does, you have to kind of go through things, I think, to experience that. But even more so, I think discipline really does take a big effect and toll when you're able to share that to other people. And so my best friends, Leon and Namdi in South Carolina, they understand that, and I'm able to share with them like, hey, I'm going through it and I just need to make sure I'm not going crazy. And I think that alone was really like, okay, you lock in, Savannah, it's going to be okay, but we're going to try to do this instead. Like there's always another solution. Yeah. And so I think finding that has been really important. But also too, I think dedicating time to figuring out the solutions helps. Yeah. Yeah,
it's inspired me. Your self-discipline has inspired me.
Darius, sweet.
I'm not naturally self-disciplined. I had to really try hard to be organized. Yeah. And, we were talking about that earlier. It's just something that's not ever been natural for me. So being around people like you helped raise me up and help me.
That's good. Yeah. That's good. And it's okay to have fun. Like it's okay to, take risks and chances when you want to. But the moment that it starts to affect you and the people around you, it's time to kind of take a step back and actually reflect. Like it's okay to look in the mirror and really question, maybe that wasn't the greatest decision, but what can I do next time to not do that again? Yeah. So just preventative things. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So what's senior year going to look like? How's it going to be?
Well, if I had to put it in like one word, I think it's going to be transformational. Okay. I definitely think so. I definitely think there's a lot of lessons that I think I'm actively learning, but putting into practice, like all of it is kind of clicking and making sense. And I definitely think a lot of people think that senior year is the end. And I think this is probably just the beginning, honestly. There's a lot to do, a lot to see, and also a lot of people to help. And that's what I really want to dedicate my life to. That may sound like really strong coming out, but genuinely, I think people deserve a voice and a place to feel seen and heard. Yeah. And I can't do that alone, but I hope to bring a space and actually make space where people can feel that way and be represented wherever I'm at, in DC, if it's Atlanta, if wherever it is. Anniston, heck yeah. So who knows where that leads, but I think senior is going to be awesome.
That's cool. That's really cool. Well, I'm super excited for you. I know you're going to crush it wherever you go and whatever you do. Because you're good at everything. So
No. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, you'll be okay.
Thanks,
and
Jared.
if not, you can always be a barista.
Heck
You can come
yeah.
back and work with us. So.
Heck yeah. Thank you for having me, Jared. Y'all are genuinely awesome. Like, y'all don't know how much. Like, y'all have been my work dads and everything in between. Therapists, too. So, it's pretty awesome.
I appreciate that. It's been fun to watch you grow. And speaking of dads, your dad still hasn't taken me on a trip yet, but just remind him of that.
Heck yeah, I will. I will. He actually just got back from the Bahamas somewhere.
That's what he does. Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for inspiring us and everybody who's listening to this. I know they're going to be inspired by you.
Sweet.
Yeah, super excited to see what happens in your life.
It's going to be good.
I know you're called to something big, so it'll be fun to see what. So, thank you.
Of course. Heck yeah.